to do my best. Okay, let's see. Okay. Yes. So we will discuss the first observation on the extension of the excavation areas from the 2024-2025 and the 3D digital documentation technique applied over the years. As visible in the general plan of the domus, in the last 2 years we extend the limits toward the west side in order to better identify the understand and the extension of the domus and its later phases toward to the tepe. Okay, the extension area V21 V9 produced the following results. In area V21 we found 2 rooms, MMM and LLL, were uncovered and continuing further to the west. In particular, a hydraulic mortar or cocciopeisto floor was found, cut on the east side, here, but still in good condition. This space will be excavated maybe next year. In the area V9, we obtained good results, which highlights the following results. The walls marked in green, just a second, these 2, belonging to the period when a public ambulance existed, before the corridor was transformed into a service area. The north-south wall functioned as a terrace wall, this one, yeah. The wall stratigraphy shows phases in which an east-west channel was added, later covered by the walls in red, which define an entrance framed by 2 pillars. At the same time, a second terrace was built just to the west side. The slide shows 2 terrace walls continue southward, later cut by more recent structure in this area. These are cut in these corners. And then they build on it a later vault with a different alignment. Yeah, this is a later. In this detail of room JJJ, the discovery of a hydraulic mortar here floor is significant, as it predates all other walls, is earlier than all the other structure we see around, except for this wall that was built contemporary with the hydraulic floor, hydraulic mortar. Ah, yes, just a second, I'm quite Room EE1, in its earliest phases, must be related to interconnected structure further to the south, the area where Alejandro is digging now, Alejandro and Samuele. From the orthophoto, in this slide has not yet been updated because I didn't have enough time to do it. But according to the latest finds, however, a series of channels is already visible, currently about 6-7. So there was for sure the presence of water coming from the west side, coming from the tepe. I can show you in this picture. We see just one here that is this connected with this. Then there is another one going to the north side. So there are many channels under excavation, and so we will understand better later when we'll finish the cleaning of all this area. And also we removed part of these 2 walls, as given as a clear overall view that is still under study, of course, because this wall they are going on the east side. Thanks to the photogrammetric documentation carried out over the years, it's possible to digitally reconstruct the remote walls with very high reliability and both topographic and photographic precision, as we can see here. The wall is still there, but this is in 3D. We can check all the measurement. We can check also with the digital elevation model the height and compare the levels of the floor, and also it's visible. You see the yellow and the green. There are two terraces, and also with a very high quality for viewing the mosaics. We can also check measure of the single tessera on it. This is just going on, and the keynote. So in a very detailed pictures, all from 3D photogrammetric job that is connected with a very huge topographical job. So everything is scaled and everything is georeferencing with the Gauss-Krugel local coordinate system. So thanks to the photogrammetry, next one, we can later draw general plan with any kind of details. I mean, depending on the scale of the drawing. We can cut section everywhere in the model to compare the floors or to draw shapes of the structures. We can also, in some cases, in special areas, we decide to make a 3D documentation to then overlap all the models, and we can check the section of all layer. We can also calculate the volume of it, everything. That, for example, in this case, we can see clearly where it was the floor. I mean, the floor in the moment when the pillars were built with maybe a door or whatever. And then lower and lower, this is the foundation of the pillars. And we go in the past with the earlier finds and ceramic, as you remember. This is your dish. And then also the 3D models can help us in the future every time to take good orthophoto of prospects. So we can draw, and also the job that Matthias Kwan are doing, I mean, to understand the technique of building and compare in many parts of the domus. So it's, I mean, very important to go in this way to keep the data, basically. And finally, we can also have very high resolution digital elevation model. As in this case, we did it on the two mosaics, BB, the one with the fishes, and FF, the one in the northern part, to check the floor, and if in the time the floor is going lower or higher, check the criticity, I think I can say it like this, of the structure. So choose to make a restoration in a part, like in the model, in the BB they are doing now with Sina. And we compare this with the first digital DM, and we noticed that there was the mosaic was going lower, so something happened below the tessera, basically. So that's it. I mean, just a technique introduction. Okay. Bye.